Hey guys, just a short video, man, to kind of keep you up to speed on this fasting that I've been doing. As you know, if you've watched the videos, I dropped 25 pounds in like 10 days, like real quick. Well, then it got to the state of when I got up, it felt like I had run a freaking marathon and I hadn't done nothing, just getting up off the couch to walk to the bathroom, you feel that like heavy breath. So I thought, well, shit, that's got to have something to do with the fasting. And mind you, I had nothing but water and stuff for 10 days. I wasn't substituting anything. Water and my medication that I take, that's it. Well, then after that started happening, I figured I'll go ahead and try to introduce some like portions like every 3 or 4 days. So I'd eat like a half cup of canned beans or a cup of pasta with sauce. And what that did is it made me maintain the weight I had left, the 25 pounds that I had dropped. It stayed off, but there was no more progress going down. Like my body leveled out, where I was consuming just enough calories a day that my body was working off of that and not, working off the stored body fat. So, but yeah, interesting little trip. But now I've weighed myself again, and like I say, I still have the 25 pounds lost. It's still off. It didn't come back after I introduced, like every 3 or 4 days, a little portion of food. And then I've been drinking some diet, what do you call them, like the Gatorades and stuff too. They're not really diet. They're just the low sugar one. So I have been drinking those too. And so that, the calories from the sugar in that and the small amount of food I'd taken every couple of days, kept me out of balance. Well, now I want to go deep dive down again. And now that I'm below 300, I want to go like my target goal of 225. And so, I want to drop another 20 pounds, 25 pounds like lickety split. So it's going to be kind of challenging doing it because I don't want to do it to the detriment of my health. Where I get up and I'm so dizzy or something that I can't even, walk. But I still want to go hardcore where my body's drawing off nothing but the stored fat. So I can, shed another 25 pounds really fast. I kind of have a goal set to go to the Philippines pretty quick. I thought about getting there in June. Just because I think that would be the perfect timing to get there. But I may go ahead and hold that off because I got a real sweetheart deal to get a fucking plane ticket under $900 in August and stuff. And like if any of you watch my videos, the first time I went to the Philippines, I paid $3,500 fucking dollars for a round trip ticket, and that was during Christmas and stuff. So if I can pop in these tickets at like $900 round trip, I'll be making several trips back and forth, and maybe instead of staying like I said I would do for the full, like try to do 7 months, and I may still even do that. It just depends when I get there. I'm meeting a lot of new people and a lot of really cool people that I didn't have an opportunity to meet before. So a lot of doors and windows are opening up to me. So I'm kind of anxious to get there for that, to I don't know why, but I'm kind of anxious to establish like another relationship, get something going. And you think I wouldn't be after the last one. I didn't think I would be after the last one, but whatever, that is what it is. But I'm definitely interested in starting something else, finding another Filipina girlfriend, and then I'll do things a little different this time, quite a bit different actually. But that's what I'm hoping to do. But if I don't, and I decide to go ahead and come back in the 30 days, or if they won't let me extend for another 30 days or whatever, then with these ticket prices being as cheap as they are, I won't have any problem popping back up in a couple more months and going down there again. It's just when you're paying $3,500 a ticket, that fucking is a big kick in the ass, man. So anyway, kind of got off my fasting thing onto the weight loss deal. I guess I got off of the fasting thing off into going to the Philippines, but they're kind of both interchangeable things. The whole thing I'm trying to lose a lot of weight for is because I want to be in the healthiest shape I can be when I get back to the Philippines and stuff. I got a few things to prove to a few people, and I want to do it in a big way. I want to come in. Well, I guess in a big way and not a big way. I want to do it in a big way when I get there, but not as being big when I get there, if you get what I mean. So got a lot of different stuff going on, but that's kind of my plans for now. And like back to the fasting stuff, I tell anybody that wants to do it like I did it, like hardcore, where you're only drinking water, nothing else, be really cautious, man. And you might want to consult your doctor and stuff, because I'm sure it's probably not super healthy, you know, going without food for that long. I think the longest anyone has ever gone without food completely has been around 50 days, and I think they took some kind of supplements here and there. So they were taking vitamins and things like that. I wasn't taking nothing but my medication for blood pressure, crap like that. But and I've even done away with the painkillers that I took. I was taking hydrocodones periodically, and every once in a while, you know, pain in my lower back would get so bad I'd have to frickin' double up and take about 4 of them at a time, and then it would kill the pain for about, it wouldn't kill it, but it would mediate it down to where it was tolerable for about 4 to 6 hours, and then it'd be back. And a few weeks ago I just decided, man, you know, I'm going to try to wean all that shit out, you know, and stop taking them. And I'd take like maybe an aspirin, an over-the-counter aspirin, and then, you know, I always try to keep that hydrocodone filled just so I keep supply of it, because I always know if I'm in great pain, that's the only thing that's going to help. Well, lately I sit there and I fill it up usually right when it's time to fill it up, and I usually still have hydrocodones left. I just fill it up because it's time to, so it can keep the cycle going. Well, this time I haven't used them. It's been almost 2 weeks. So I started thinking, well, God, it's about time to order them. And I look at my deal, and like the bottle says the 12th, which means I could have ordered them the 12th of this month. Well, it's going on now. The month is almost over, and I still have a half a bottle left, you know, a ton of them left. And so I'm thinking, well, shit, I still want to keep up on these and get them. So I go ahead and have their prescription refilled and stuff. So now I'm setting on a full bottle and then a over half of another bottle. And these are like big bottles like that, so they're stacked full. And, you know, I'll keep that on hand and stuff, but my goal is just to kind of weed out as many medications as I can. And I think once I drop this weight, I'll also be able to weed out the blood pressure medications. I think my blood pressure should all start falling back in shape again, and overall be healthier, you know. I just have to keep maintaining the weight off is the deal, you know. I don't want to do like most people do, you know, get tired with it or think you're going to eat something and you just gorge yourself and then you gain back all the weight that you lost. You know, that's not my goal at all. My goal is to maintain the weight off and then also to keep losing massive amounts of weight. You know, I'm talking 20 pounds in 10 days. So that's my goal now. That's what I'm up to now. And kind of one of the sucky things I'll tell you about, guys, is with this fucking hip replacement, one of the key things I used to love is I could always walk and get wherever I wanted to go. I'd walk miles with my grandkids into town, all over the place, hit parks, hit this. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. There's like a very attractive blonde girl walking by. See there? I don't know if you can see out there, but yeah, I caught my eye for a minute there, broke my train of thought. But anyway, I used to always be able to get wherever I wanted to go. You know, I could walk wherever, you know, do whatever. And now since I had my hip screwed up on me and had the hip replacement surgery, I'm still not able to do that. Like I was at my grandkids' house just a minute ago, and we used to walk, I'm telling you, around town, 2 or 3 miles and back. Well, they went off with my daughter and they were going for a walk, and I thought, well, you know, I'll go ahead and see if I can do it. And I've been a little unsteady lately, so I went ahead and pulled a cane I keep in my car. I haven't had to use it since my hip surgery, but I went ahead and brought it just in case. And I didn't make it just one whole city block, and then my leg started hurting, you know, my hip and stuff. And it was like, fuck that, man. I'm not going to be able to go any further, you know. And I told my daughter, hey, I said, I'm going to have to tap out on it right here. I said, my hip's flaring up and the joint and stuff is hurting. And I said, if I go another block, I won't be able to walk anymore. I'll have to be in a vehicle. And I said, so to forego that, I'll go ahead and flip back to the house now. Plus, I was going to head home and got some stuff to do there. It's been a shitty day. In the morning, it's been rainy and dark and dreary. Then I just got bummed being at the house, and I thought, well, shit, I'll just go ahead and run down to my grandkids, see what they're all doing. Came down, and I'm only 10 miles away from this town of Beatrice, right? I live in Philly. Beatrice is about 12 miles away. Well, when I get through Philly, it's horrible. It looks like tornado weather. It's bad. And right when I get to the edge of Beatrice, it stops raining. And then right when I get toward my daughter's house and kind of come up over this hill in the road, it's like instant sunshine, like I just crossed into a new universe. The sun's out bright. There's no more gloom and doom, no raining. And that's Nebraska weather. It's so fucked up like that. You never know what it's going to be. And you can be in a town 5 miles away, fine. Another town 5 miles away from that in horrific storms. It's just a mishmash of fucking crazy weather. But that's kind of how my day went today. And like I say, I'm sitting at home and I'm just like, man, I can't fucking just be sitting around here. I got to get up and do something, You start getting that where you're just feeling all cagey and shit, being at home all the time. But, like I say, I know I keep saying but like I say, and my mouth is getting dried out now. That's another thing when you fast and you're not drinking any kind of shit other than pure water. I don't know about you, but my mouth dries out like you wouldn't believe. I had to take some folks to town the other day, and I was talking to them and I was riding them up. And I mean, I hardly could talk because my mouth got that freaking dry where you're like, yeah, and your lips won't separate from your teeth. And I mean, it's insane, man. It's that fucking dry. And I never had that problem before because I always had soda pop to drink. That sugary pop always kept my mouth well moist, and I never had any of that trouble. But now, man, it's crazy, man. So I'm going to have to start carrying fucking water with me like I did the soda pop so I can, get my mouth dampened so I can continue to talk. Because right now, this whole upper lip here is like welded to my front teeth. Where it doesn't move. And you can try to make a little saliva yourself, but it doesn't last long. But anyway, guys, I just want to give you kind of an update on the fasting stuff, most importantly. That, watch it if you're doing it, man. Make sure you're using some guidance researched on the internet, because you could have different side effects. Yours might be worse than mine, and mine were pretty bad, getting up and like out of breath and you haven't even moved. So you don't want to get that far, because you don't want to do the fasting just to save, to lose some pounds to the detriment of your own health. You don't want to do that. I'm super anxious about getting this done, so I'm wanting to take that chance, but that's just me and my choice. Man, guys, I'm going to lose attention again. Here comes that good looking girl. Dang, I don't know if this is a mom's son or if this is a sister brother. She definitely looks too young. See if you guys take a good look. Not too young to be vaping, but yeah, that's hard to say. That might be a sister-brother deal, because I don't think there's no way that gal can be old enough to have a boy that old. But anyway, distraction's gone. I'm going to go ahead now and roll back to my house. I'm in Beatrice now. Head back to my house and kind of get some stuff done there. I might make a video or two tonight, too, concerning my plans on coming back to the Philippines. It's kind of sad to say it, but one situation that if you know me or watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. But one situation, I can already see the tires falling off of it, I can already see it going south, And I would be telling you that, it's bad for me to make light of it and think it's funny, but it actually, to me, is kind of funny, because I predicted that would happen. I predicted exactly what would happen. And so far, everything that I predicted has come true 100%, And it's just, I shouldn't be laughing about it. I'm going to do better, and I'm going to try not to be laughing about it, but I actually do find it funny and stuff. And it's like, if karma steps in and deals somebody a bad hand after they dealt somebody else a bad hand, who am I to intervene or say anything about it? That's just the laws of nature. You fuck somebody around and you get some of that revisited back on you. And mind you, it's not by none of my doing. It's not like I'm doing anything behind the scenes. The tires on this bus are coming off all by themselves and stuff, just like I said they would. But I'll leave you guys with that. If you wonder what I'm talking about with all the kind of coded talk, you can shoot me a message and I'll come right out and tell you what I'm talking about. But anyway, have a great rest of your weekend. For those of you that are still on Sunday, if you're in the Philippines and you're working on Monday, have a great Monday morning and a great rest of your week. I will talk to you all later. Peace out.